The film adaptation of the 2011 speculative novel Divergent, which premiered early 2014, immediately depicts Neil Berger's contextual anxieties surrounding the 1961 Milgram experiment and the way in which authoritarian regimes abandon moral principles in order to justify their violence and oppressive policies. In the orientation of the film, Eric Stanley instructs each initiate to fight till one of you can't continue and no one concedes. Eric's use of imperative and commanding language indicates that he demands for complicity, and if societal obedience isn't displayed, significant ramifications and consequences will be endured. However, the dominant close-up shot emphasizing Triss's grotesque cuts and bruises during her fights, Berger displays the extremity individuals go in order to conform and satisfy the needs of despotic hegemonies, hereby warning humanity that repressive ideologies displayed through autocratic leaders result in ferocity and dehumanization, leading to ultimate violence. In addition, as dauntless initiates are engaging in knife-throwing activities, Owl displays defiance toward the regime by expressing that he, in fact, is afraid of being stabbed with an airborne knife. This inspires Triss to stand up for Owl, and she is immediately instructed to stand in front of the target. As a dolly shot is adopted to display the piercing of knives being thrown toward Triss, it initiates how manipulation and threats are utilized by authoritative figures to position viewers where they consider the impact of challenging tyrannical leaders in order to eradicate immoral principles and the positive impact it may spark. Therefore, Berger reminds the audience that courage is the ultimate sacrifice in totalitarian regimes. Ultimately, he effectively displays the destructive impact tyrannical regimes have on humanity and prompts altruistic sacrifices are the only way to catalyze change. Additionally, throughout the film, Berger reveals his substantial concerns regarding the dominant use of exposure therapies in order to create fearless soldiers who can overcome any direct adversity impacting them. As Triss enters the virtual reality exposure simulation, Berger adopts a stark aerial shot. Berger has intentionally adopted this to ironically emphasize the alienation endured when you are expected to radically abandon all of your fears. Moreover, Berger's use of dynamic and almost cynical diegetic sound as Triss is forced in to eliminate her fears, Berger speculates that exposure therapies lead to further loneliness and deterioration. Berger ultimately highlights that through exposure therapy, it is aimed in furthering the corrosion of your fears rather than decreasing them in a positive milieu to increase confidence. In summary, Berger displays his contextual fears of exposure therapy that can result in further decline of your fears. Hence, this creates the inability to escape the oppressive tendencies it is founded upon and instills fear within us against dominant governments.